Today, I wanna stay in bed.
Hello, everyone. First of all, the beard. It's very clinical, I know. But fortunately, my hair falls in pretty quickly, so I'll look more like the complete degenerate I am probably within the next few days. Again, if the symmetrical cut of my beard is making you uncomfortable, don't worry. It'll grow wild again soon. That being said, we are seeing the new EP, Calls of the Unlight, being released this very week. In fact, within the next couple of days. I'm very excited about it. I think it's a powerful EP. I really like the songs that are on it. Of course, it wouldn't have been possible without my creative partner Chantal. She puts a hell of a lot of work into, not just assisting me with visual artwork, but also with promotion, and I'm immensely grateful to have her in my team. I don't think I would have seen any of the tangible manifest growth that I have if it weren't for her. I'm hoping I can get her to appear with me on one of these videos. She's quite introverted, so she might not be up for it, but let's see. So yeah, I wanted to give you a bit of a breakdown on the four songs that are on the EP. Starting with the title track, Calls of the Unlight. Now, I actually wrote this song relatively recently. Temporal qualities to me are different. If I say recently, it could have been within the past year, and it very well might have been. Don't know if I wrote it quite that recently, but it's a somber song. It's a very melancholy song that brings in a lot of themes, as our songs generally do, about just having a very abusive internal monologue, and feeling like a failure, feeling like you're letting people you love down. In terms of metaphors, there are a few, obviously. I'm a big metaphor guy. We're looking at the lines such as "It's a cold, wet October." Yes, it has. As it turns out, it has been quite a cold, wet October for the most part. It's fucking hot as balls at the moment, but it's rained a lot. Even last night was raining, it was hailing. So I thought, stylistically, thematically, that worked out quite well. If one looks at the theme of the song being one of great heartache and loss, and just not feeling good enough always, and I always say, if I don't feel good enough, it's not other people that make me feel that way. It's me. I'm in my head. My inner monologue is not great. So say it's borderline abusive, so it's not great. So that's Calls of the Unlight. That's the title track of the EP. Better Days is a fun little doom metal inspired number. Again, you'll find the metaphors there, like melting away like a Saturday morning cartoon, which I'm sure most people of my generation will remember. Maybe it's still a thing, I don't know. And unwinding like an old cassette tape. So I'm really using imagery of, I don't want to say antiquated things, but anachronistic things. That worked quite well for me. I didn't intend for it to be such a heavy doomy song, but it turned out to be that way. It's also quite groovy. And if you look at imagery like convex shape, concave mirror, You can draw your own conclusions there. Those might be drug metaphors. I don't know. Didn't necessarily intend for them to be, but they work. It sounds very much like talking about a spoon, especially when I say dancing like a flame around a concave shape. It sounds it's like something drug related. um, I'm thinking of ending things. That is the name of a song. I drew inspiration for the name from a very trippy, sort of unsettling, surreal film by Charlie Kaufman called, I'm thinking of Ending Things, starring Jesse Plemons. Such a great actor, by the way. But of course, can also be interpreted a number of ways. It might be my favorite song from the album. I think it worked out very well. I like the lyrics. I think they're decent, solid lyrics, and again, I think also the Unlight is a doom album, because certainly I'm thinking of Ending Things has a sort of doom adjacent feeling to it as well. It's the kind of atmosphere that it creates, and I think the lyrics work very well. Also, a lot of metaphors, like dying bugs upon the page, and I'm underwater, things like that. It's so quite strong metaphors. But the thing about art, music, any art is, it's open to interpretation. You might interpret it another way than that I intended when I wrote it, and that's great. That's the point of it. I don't necessarily want you to make easy connections with it, or superficial basic connections with it. I want you to make it your own. That, in fact, when we write music, Chantal and I, it's once we've produced it and put it on an album and put it out there, it's no longer ours. It's everybody's, and you can do with it what you like in terms of interpretation and connection. And the final song on the album is called The Other Side. Perhaps not so heavy on the metaphors, perhaps a more straightforward song lyrically. The other side, we all know when we talk about the other side, we talk about the year after, what comes after life. And I suppose the other side was my exploration of that, and my feelings on that. Is it something that I still believe? Or not? If I were to give you a straight answer, probably yes, it is still something I believe. I had the privilege of going with my girlfriend yesterday and attending, or visiting, sorry, not attending, visiting the site of my dad's resting place in the West Park Cemetery, which is sort of a very, very vast cemetery in Johannesburg, South Africa. I hadn't been there in many years, and it's quite auspicious because this is the 10-year anniversary of his passing. He actually died on Heritage Day 2014, which I feel is quite poetic, quite fitting, because heritage, and he is my dad. And if I can tell you an interesting little vignette, I'm not the most spiritual guy. I'm quite a skeptic, just like my dad was. But my girlfriend was kind and gracious enough to give me a few moments to just sit there and talk to my dad. And all of a sudden it was a still day, and all of a sudden there was a breeze, and I thought to myself, wow, it's just my dad saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm still looking out for you. So yeah, that's something. But I'll probably do another video once the EP is officially out. It is out on some platforms, but it's not yet out on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music or iTunes, which are the ones I'm really interested in, I suppose. But again, just thank you to everyone for the support. I'm really grateful to be able to do this. I've been writing poems since I was probably, 10 years old, and I never thought I'd be able to share them with the world through a medium that's probably the most important medium to me, and that's music. So all I can say is thank you, and yeah, keep it degenerate. Take care, guys, and we'll talk soon.